Sportin Wales podcast, powered by Sinclair Group, your go-to for Welsh sports news and views.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Sportin Wales podcast with me, Rhodri Evans, and Ana Hossi. How are you, Anna?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Not bad. Still pretty gutted after the Wales defeat Scotland on Saturday.
I'm quite optimistic. I think it was I know it was obviously a defeat, but I think it was a really good positive stride in the right direction.
Yeah, they played really well. Like being in the stadium, 75,000 odds there after the low attendance against France a week before. It was rocking for the first sort of 50, 60 minutes. I think the thing that really took us out was that try from Darcy Graham right off the kickoff. That was a real killer. I think Wales were 23-12 at the time, and you think we went from 23-12 to 23-26. Like that's, I think a word around the press box was sort of, that's a coach killer. That just switching off at the kickoff and then losing it in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, fair play to Wales. They played really well.
They did, yeah. And I think it's exactly kind of the right direction for Wales at the moment. It was as close as we've got to a win, wasn't it? I think up until halftime, it was looking really positive actually as well.
It was.
So it was looking great. I mean, the halftime score was great. So
yeah, I mean, I
really
thought Wales were much better. They played with a lot more physicality.
Yeah.
A few of the changes that Tandy made were vindicated. I thought Ben Carter played really well. Sam Costello, like, gutted that he's now injured almost straight away, but he at fly half he was really good. And yeah, just in the press conference afterwards, we had the Scotland coach and captain Sione Tuipulotu and Gregor Townsend in first, and they're both like, okay, they say this because they've won, but they were like, oh, we've got such sympathy for Wales. They played so well today, and I'm not sure that's what Steve Tandy wanted to hear, but at least it's a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah, and everyone's rooting for them now. You never know. Maybe
it does feel like the mood has turned a little bit after this match because it was very, very down after the France defeat.
Yeah, and if you think, I mean, Scotland coming off the back of an England win as well, so they were in a really good place. It was obviously challenging for Wales, but I think they met the challenge, and yeah, it slipped away, but it's positive. It's exactly what we need is hopefully the next one to be a win. You never know.
Yeah. Quickly, our running order today. So we're going to hit a couple of quick stories from the weekend, a little bit on the football, and some perhaps some Winter Olympics chat as well, seeing as that's come to a close over the weekend. But our main task today is to take you through our Womenin Wales Awards finalists. So this is the inaugural Womenin Wales Awards, celebrating, as you would have guessed by now, women in Wales. Headline sponsored by Hello Starling. So thank you very much to Hello Starling for sponsoring the awards. We've got less than a month to go until the biggest awards event of the year in Cardiff on the 19th of March at the Marriott Hotel. Tickets are on sale now. So get in touch with our brilliant head of sales, Mark George, at mark.george@businessin, all one word, .wales to secure your place. It promises to be a great event, Anna.
Will you be there?
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be working most likely.
So no drinks for you?
No drinks.
Okay.
It's not a celebration for me. I most likely I'll be getting interviews of winners.
Okay, so you definitely can't drink.
Yeah, one of the easier jobs though. They just come off stage. I'll be like, how does it feel to win? And then let them go.
Better than interviewing the losers. I mean,
I've had a lot of experience with that with Wales over the last few months.
No, I'd rather do.
Yeah, poor old James Botham and Ben Carter in the mix zone on Saturday were pretty down. But yeah.
Oh, he must be glad though to be back from injury, is he?
Yes. Yeah, Botham was in good voice, to be fair. He's a really good guy. And
he's
James.
so good as well.
Yeah.
Isn't he? He's great.
Lovely
great
guy.
Player,
But yeah, so we'll get into that. But first of all, I wanted to quickly touch, seeing as we did a big football special a couple of weeks ago on the results from the weekend. So Wrexham had a really good win, won 5-3 against Ipswich. 2-2 at half-time, 3-2 down, came back, scored 3 goals in the last sort of half an hour. They're on a roll in the minute. We tipped them for promotion. Are they going to do it?
I mean, what can I say? I'm just going to say everything on the pod and then it will come true.
Yeah.
So if I'm really positive about a team, you'll see a Welsh win soon because of me.
Absolutely.
I'm just setting the fate, I think. Yeah, it was good. What did you think?
I thought Wrexham looked quite shaky, which has not really been seen recently. Like conceding 3 goals is pretty
Yeah.
abnormal for them. That that the system that Phil Parkinson plays is very sort of defensively solid and then builds out from the back from there. But to score 5 against Ipswich, who are in the playoffs as well, playoff positions at the minute as well, very, very impressive. They look really good. So there was another big win for the Welsh side in the Championship. Swansea beat Bristol City 1-0 thanks to a goal, 16th goal of the season for Championship top scorer Sandra Potnick. The Viper was on form again. Are they going to go up like Wrexham? Are we going to have two Welsh Premier League teams?
I think I might need a little bit more persuasion before
Yeah.
I'll say they're definitely going up. I think they need to just consolidate a bit more. I'm positive. I'm always a very positive person, but I think they just need to do a bit more before I'm convinced that they're going up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, 6 points off playoffs is usually a little bit too much, but there's still, 13 games to go if they keep the unbeaten run. So I think all their defeats under Vitor Matos have been away from home. A few of them have been a bit sort of unlucky, I think. So you turn a few of those defeats into draws, you pick up a few more points. You never know. I'm staying positive. Negative, Cardiff, an absolute aberration after a brilliant victory over Wimbledon midweek 4-1. They lost 5-2 at Plymouth.
Yeah.
Absolute capitulation in the first half. Complete aberration for them.
Yeah, it was gutting, wasn't it? I think, again, maybe it was just an unlucky day and an unlucky win, but loss. But yeah, it's not really on the trajectory of where we want them to be at all. So
Yeah,
it's gutting, isn't it?
Yeah, lead cut at the top by 1 point. And I know our boys in the office who are big City fans are a little bit worried now that the league title might slip away from them.
Yeah.
They should still be fine for promotion. They're well ahead of Bolton, I think it is, in third.
I think they'll be okay. I think it's just, it's not always, thing is, nothing's ever linear in football, is it? It doesn't just go up straight. There's always little dips along the way. That's why we love it so much. So I think it's just a little dip and hopefully they'll carry on soaring high.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our naughty little League Two sides, Newport lost again. They're back bottom of League Two, and it's looking pretty depressing. Christian Fuchs unwell, so get well soon, Christian.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there. Let's get into these Womenin Awards.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
So for those of you that haven't been aware of our socials, get on them. At Sportin Wales and at Business in Wales, because we announced our finalists last week for all our awards. We've got 18 awards.
Wow.
And we're going to fit it
Isn't
all
that
into
amazing?
one night. Yeah.
So exciting.
And we're going to be going through the 8 sports awards. And we've got the other half are more business focused. I'm sure Dan on the Business In Pod. Check out the Business In Pod. We'll be focusing on those over the next couple of weeks. But we held a judging day in mid-February with our excellent group of judges sifting through, I kid you not, hundreds of nominations. We had a crazy amount of people nominate. We had 10 plus people nominating for the same person. Like, really, really exciting how much engagement we got for what is our first awards at Sportin and Business In. So it was quite a process whittling it all down. We had an afternoon of heated debate and spirited conversation, I think is probably the nice way of saying it, between our judges trying to pick who are the winners. Now, we're obviously not going to be announcing any of the winners today. But we will talk about who has made the final shortlists in each of the awards. So our first and perhaps our biggest award, start with the top, is our Sportswoman of the Year award. We have four nominees for this one: Lauren Price, Jess Fishlock, Emma Finucane, and Sabrina Fortune. Anna, do you want to take one of our shortlist finalists?
Let's go for it. So I think this is an example really of a mixture between opportunity and determination from all of them, and they're all absolutely incredible. If we go into Lauren Price with a bit of boxing, I think what a year she had. Yeah, 2025 was definitely her year. Unbeaten, she's dominant and self-assured as well. And she had 2 fights, 2 wins. Yeah. It's just incredible.
Carried on the unbeaten run.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I think her determination and the way she keeps coming through and kind of going above and beyond every single time and proving everyone why she deserves that title as well is just incredible. She's got a homecoming fight in Cardiff this April, doesn't she?
Yes, she does at the Utilita, which is really exciting. She's also been in a little bit of War of Words, classic boxing situation with Clarissa Shields, who's I think she refers, Max, you'll know this, she refers to her as the GOAT, which is the greatest woman of all time.
I love that.
Which I like. She's very sure of herself, I think is probably the polite way of saying it, but she reckons she'll knock Lauren out, but I'm sure Lauren will have something to say about that.
I think Lauren will.
I think that'll be a pretty blockbuster fight if it happens. We'll see if it does, but yeah, like you said, really exciting homecoming fight.
Really exciting.
In April. And yeah, let's see if she can win Sportswoman of the Year at the Womenin Awards a couple of weeks before. Give her that extra boost.
It will give her the extra fight she needs. And then I think if Lauren Price ruled the ring, Jess Fishlock is ruling Welsh football.
Oh, absolutely.
Safe to say.
Unbelievable year for Jess. Obviously retired this year as well.
Yeah.
So qualified Wales for the World Cup, European Championships, first major tournament in Wales's history. She scored Wales's first ever goal at a major tournament. The mark of her longevity is that she became the oldest goal scorer at a European Championships as well.
Isn't that
in
crazy?
doing so, like
That's
she's
amazing.
an absolute trailblazer for the sport. There's a ridiculous stat about her final appearances. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's more than 150 for Wales, and it's something like over 2/3 of all Wales matches ever played.
Wow.
Jess Fishlock has been involved in them. And if you think about, I think the stat about Alan Wynne-Jones was that he's played 20% of Wales rugby internationals. So Jess has played 2/3 of Wales football internationals, which is pretty crazy when you can consider it. And so she's retired now, but what a legacy.
Yeah, what a legacy. And then we've got Emma in with cycling as well.
Oh, Emma's an absolute champion. Yeah. Do you want to take it away on Emma?
Yeah, so I think her rise is the biggest thing to talk about. Her rise has been phenomenal. So she established herself in 2024.
Yeah.
She won the most medals of anyone in Team GB at the Paris Olympics.
Yeah.
With a gold and 2 bronze medals. It's just crazy. She's also broken the women's sprint world record as well. And she took gold at 2026 European Track Championships.
Yeah, she's basically the fastest cyclist in the world.
She's pretty speedy.
Yeah, and she's still pretty young. Paris was her first Olympics. I think we'll see lots of Emma to come in the next few years. Really excited for what Welsh cycling as well. Another one that was considered and commended highly at the judging panel was Anna Morris,
Yes.
who was on our nominations list. Got quite a few nominations. Double world champion is Ana. Won a bronze at that Paris Olympics as well. More of an endurance cyclist, but Welsh cycling in a really good place, even with Geraint Thomas's retirement. And yes, rounding out our nominees as well, we've got Sabrina Fortune, Sabrina's fantastic. We've interviewed Sabrina for Sporting before. She's a brilliant character. She was just part of the UK National Championships, competing as an able-bodied athlete, despite her para-athletics achievements. And she is a world record breaker every time she competes, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, take us through.
She's breaking records, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
She won gold at the Paris Games, as you said, after 3 years of world championship domination in her category. So she threw 14.83 meters, breaking her own world record.
She pretty much breaks her own world record every time she throws.
Yeah, a lot of athletes make them. She's breaking them.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of chat at the minute about Keely Hodgkins, the 800 meter runner, and how close she is to breaking the long time held world records, and hopefully that will happen this year. But Sabrina breaks her record every time she goes out. So, like you said, 14.83 meters at Paris. A year later, in September, she extended it to 16.75.
Incredible.
The 2 meter, like that's crazy. So the trajectory that she's on, sort of getting better exponentially, is crazy. So 4 extremely worthy finalists in our Sportswoman of the Year category. Who's going to win it though, Anna?
I'm not going to say who's going to win it. I would be happy with any
Well,
of
I
them.
can't say.
I think the good thing is as well that it's so different in terms of the sports. It's really nice that we've got good variety there.
Absolutely.
I think they're all incredible. And I think they're showing that there's so much strength and determination in each individual sport. And that says a lot about them. They're all really, really worthy candidates. So it'll be really exciting to see who wins.
Sinclair Group has been part of the motor industry for over 80 years, and we've never stood still. Because for us, it's not just about where we've been, it's about where we're going. We believe in progress, embracing innovation, investing in technology, and moving towards a more sustainable future for everyone. We offer new and approved used vehicle sales and service for some of the world's most forward-thinking motor brands. But our drive is always to the future. So whether you're starting your journey or continuing your legacy, visit sinclairgroup.co.uk. Belong for good.
Excellent. Right, moving swiftly on to Rising Sports Star. Now, this is sort of our Young Player of the Year award.
Yes.
This is someone who's on the rise, who's performing at, at the very highest level, but has just got there. We got 3 nominees here. Would you like to run us through our nominees for Rising Sports Star?
Absolutely. So should we start with Ella Lloyd?
Yes, let's go with Ella.
Let's go with a bit of F1 because I think F1's something that everyone's interested in at the moment, especially ever since it's kind of hit Netflix. So she's a name you're going to be hearing a lot more of if you haven't already. She's a rising star for sure in motorsport. She competes in the F1 Academy. 5 podiums, a race win in Jeddah, 4th overall, and Rookie of the Year.
That's pretty stellar achievement list for 2025.
It's not bad for a rising star.
I know.
She's rising star, but she seems already on the top.
I know. She's an incredibly impressive person for such a young age. She speaks really well. There's not a lot of female drivers in F1, and
there's not.
So
no.
she's a bit of a trailblazer in that respect as well. So yeah, massive props to Ella for a pretty outstanding year. Mimi Zhu is next on the list. Our perhaps the best Welsh tennis player out there at the minute. 2025 pretty breakout year for her. She was part of the Wimbledon senior draw for the first time. She had a wild card there, which is a really cool moment. In her first round game, she was drawn against Emma Raducanu on centre court, which is a really, really sort of cool but also quite daunting moment for a debutante. Like you probably expect, any other debutante to be, court 16 or something, in front of 50 people. But there she is on the first weekend with the darling of British tennis against her.
Wow!
Like fair play to Mimi. That was a pretty good effort to get through that, and she played well. She lost, but she played really well. And then this October, she absolutely she beat everyone, all challengers at the Wrexham Open. So she won both the singles and the doubles. So she made it 2-2 at the Wrexham Open, and the inaugural Wrexham Open in October. And in January, she made a career high senior ranking of 230th in the world, and that's only going to rise in the next couple of years.
That is amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty outstanding, is Mimi, and really excited to have her as one of the finalists.
That's really cool.
Who's our final finalist? As it were?
we're on to gymnastics now.
Yes.
With Ruby Evans, which is quite an exciting one, I think. So for our last rising star, we've got Ruby Evans at 17 years old. When most people aren't taking anything in life seriously. She became the first Welsh female gymnast at the Olympics since 1996.
That's pretty incredible, isn't it?
That's before I was born.
That's before I was born as well.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we're both really old.
We're terribly ancient compared to our producer
We're
Max.
really old. Yeah. She was a shock inclusion in 2024 in the gymnastics team for the Paris Olympics. And then she became obviously the first Welsh female gymnastic to be selected since 1996. So then she just keeps making history, really, because she won World Championship silver on the floor, the first Welsh gymnast to medal individually at Worlds. So that's legacy building. What she's doing is really pushing beyond, and I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, still so young as well, already winning world silver medals. Like that's really impressive. Like Ruby's an outstanding young athlete. Like we'll see her around the British team at the next Olympics, I'm sure. So yeah, keep an eye out for Ruby Evans after a pretty outstanding couple of years.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for all of them, though.
Yes.
I mean, they're all
These are all ones to
absolutely
put sort of
incredible.
on your list whenever,
Yeah.
Wimbledon draw this year. Check out Mimi.
Have a look.
Yeah.
And the fact they're all so young as well.
I know.
It's just amazing.
Crazy. They're all teenagers on this list.
Yeah.
So yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Our third category is our para-athlete of the year.
Let's do it.
We have our first double nominee in Sabrina. So Sabrina is there again, world record breaking Sabrina. She's at a risk of repeating myself. She's a pretty phenomenal talent. She's won 3 world championships. She won gold at Paris, and yeah, broke her world record again in the world championships in September. So yeah, not much more to add on Sabrina really. So who else is on our finalists?
Yeah, I think Sabrina's records kind of speak for herself, don't they? So if we go into Georgia Wilson, equestrian,
Yeah.
it's quite interesting, really, when you look at.
Are you a fan of horses, Anna?
I like horses. Would I trust myself on one?
I have never ridden a horse, and
I
I'd be
can
too
believe
scared
that.
to.
You didn't need to tell me that. I didn't think you were a secret equestrian. I can't imagine you.
I don't know what that says about me.
I just can't imagine you tacking up a horse
No,
and jumping
that's
on
really
them
not my style.
at 6 a.m. in the morning
No.
before you go to work.
I prefer to ride a bike than a horse, definitely.
Okay. Do you do that a lot as well?
Yeah, no, I cycle to work.
Do you
and stuff.
cycle when you go to the games? Do
Oh,
you
no,
cycle?
too
Because that
too
would
much
be really
equipment.
clever.
Too much equipment.
Okay, but parking.
I just walk, live in town,
Oh,
don't
right,
I? Live
okay.
in Canton Way.
Yeah, no, I can believe
I
that.
just doxed
Well,
myself on the pod.
I don't really. Let's say that. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't really horse ride frequently. I used to when I was little. Just
Oh,
a
really? That's
bit.
cool.
Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of has a few birthday parties. That like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's the English thing. I'm not sure.
Well, I know. Yeah. Anyway, let's get
We're
on to our
definitely
actual
gonna
horse,
have to
our
explore.
actual excellent horse rider, Georgia Wilson,
Right.
who's a 4-time Paralympic medalist. She won 2 bronze medals at the Tokyo Games and a silver and a bronze. So she upgraded at Paris.
Yeah.
In the individual freestyle and the championship events. Now
She
I
did.
have to say I don't know what either of those mean. But I'm sure they were
It's incredible.
pretty
And
outstanding.
I would like to ask you, because you mentioned you started cycle. How old were you when you learned how to cycle?
I don't know, probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Well, she was 2 when she started riding a horse.
That's pretty outstanding, isn't it?
I swear not everyone's... Are they walking at 2? Can you walk at 2 years old? Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't need,
I don't think every
you don't-
child is, though. I feel like this is even more advanced.
How small do we reckon the horse was when she was 2?
Was it like a little Shetland
little
pony? Or did
Shetland
they just
pony,
chuck
do you
her on a
think?
stallion and say,
Oh, yeah. Go. Off you go.
yeah, maybe.
Chuck her in at the deep end kind of thing.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she started riding at 2, and it's just incredible the way she's come forward. I mean, the fact that she's a 4-time Paralympic medalist is absolutely incredible, and yeah, she's defying all the odds.
Yeah, our last finalist is Funmi Adeweye, who is another shot putter on the list alongside Sabrina. And Funmi has got an amazing story. So she was a really talented basketball player in her teenage years, and only started para athletics really recently in 2022. She has a really tragic story where she was left paralyzed in her right leg from the knee down. After she had some routine surgeries that went wrong, but she's channeled her sort of athletic backstory from basketball into shot put, and yeah, she's been flying ever since, hasn't she, Anna?
That is amazing. Yeah. So at the 2023 World Para Athletics Championship, just after a year after taking up para sport, she finished 6th in the discus and 4th in the shot put. So narrowly missing out on her first medal, which
Yeah.
is just incredible. So she came 5th in shot put and 8th in discus at the Paris Paralympics as well, and then won her first medal in October 25, taking bronze. So she's on the rise.
She's on the
isn't
rise,
she?
yeah. I mean, she's
So
another one where I
incredible.
think we considered her full rising sports star as well, and
Yeah.
she's got an incredible story and well worthy of her spot
Yeah, it
on
is
the list.
incredible.
Moving on to our awards that happen perhaps away from the pitch is our role model award. Now, this is someone who who's very much a part of sport, but has shown whether it's their actions on the pitch or off the pitch that they are leading the way and leading some difficult conversations.
Yeah, definitely.
So who's first on our list?
So we've got Georgia Evans, which I'm sure a lot of you probably will have heard of her. And I think she reminds us what strength is. She was trolled online for wearing a pink bow, and she didn't back down from that. She showed strength, which is absolutely incredible. And in response as well, her fans, her teammates, volunteers rallied around her and all decided to wear pink bows in solidarity. So she's embracing the attention, not for herself, I think, but for every single girl who's ever felt as if maybe they've been trolled online or similar within sport. And I think it is really, really incredible that she did that and took a stand as well when it would have been a hard time.
Yeah, Georgia's a brilliant rugby player. She's been part of the Wales team for the last sort of 5-6 years, and yeah, some of the reaction during the World Cup. Obviously we talk a lot about how positive these big events are, and the Women's World Cup was the biggest, I think, ever for sort of attendance and TV audiences and things like that. But it has negatives as well, because I think there are a lot more people watching. Wales, unfortunately, didn't have a very good World Cup. They went out in the group stage, and this unacceptable backlash against Georgia for presenting herself as herself. Anyone who's been watching women's rugby for basically the whole of Georgia's career knows that the pink bow is her trademark. She wears it every game,
and she should be able to.
Exactly. And there's no excuse for some of the horrible abuse that she got, and to be able to use that as a rallying cry to be yourself within a sport that can sometimes be a little bit restricting is brilliant. Yeah, she's well worthy of a finalist on in this category.
So worthy, definitely.
And moving on, we have perhaps the best of a list of amazing stories. I think this is perhaps maybe the one that I would least like to do. I think probably Merched i Môr, which means women of the sea. They are a group of 4 women who rowed across the Atlantic. Now, these aren't professional sports people. They are fitness enthusiasts, but they are, essentially middle-aged women from South Wales who rowed 3,000 nautical miles across the Atlantic. Tell us a little bit more about it, Anna.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy, right?
To do that. I just think about me and you in a boat trying to do that together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we'd have a lot to talk about.
I think we would. Yeah.
It's just that
We're
the
not
boat
bad
wouldn't
talkers.
go very far. I just get knackered after 5 minutes. It's incredible. So it took them 50 days, which I mean, it would take me about 500. So fair enough. No assistance at all.
I know, it's crazy, right?
It's making history. So 3,000 nautical miles. It's just incredible. So they've all become the first Wales female crew to take on the world's toughest row. I mean, the fact it took them only 50 days is astonishing. But when you think about doing something like that for that period of time, you must have so much determination within yourself just to keep going. Every single day you're waking up and doing it again and again and again.
Yeah, they've raised thousands for charity as well. And yeah, just an amazing group of women. Like, there's some pretty, I think, World's Toughest Row. If you search that on YouTube, there's a little clip of them on their travels. They've also, on Merched i Môr's social media, they've been doing like day in a life of being at sea. And it's pretty crazy what they have to do. Like, there's obviously no toilet on board and all that kind of jazz, which... yeah, would just put me off straight away. So, fair play. That is an outstanding achievement. And like you said, one of the quotes from one of them: "We're 4 ordinary women from Pembrokeshire who want to do something extraordinary. We want to show that nothing, not gender, not our aging bodies, not even our own minds, can stop us from achieving great things. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we're grabbing it by the oars." That's pretty cool. That is really cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Sinclair Group has been part of the motor industry for over 80 years. And in that time, we've learned it's not just about cars. It's about the impact we leave behind. We believe in driving change, supporting the people around us where we live and work. Because when our communities thrive, we all do. We offer new and approved used vehicle sales and service for some of the world's biggest motor brands. But what drives us goes far beyond the road. So whether you're starting your journey or continuing your legacy, visit sinclairgroup.co.uk. belong for good.
So yeah, rounding out our role model finalists.
Yes. So we've got Sophia Middleton Patel, who's the Welsh goalkeeper.
Yes, she is.
So she's actually become a role model on and off the pitch, in my opinion, as well. So she's a Welsh international who she revealed that she'd been diagnosed with autism and said in a statement that she wanted to be a role model for young girls. So I think by openly sharing her diagnosis, not only is she rallying together everyone who can relate to her in that situation, but she's also breaking the stigma that's attached to that diagnosis, and she's showing that you can do anything.
Yeah, she's a pretty impressive footballer and role model as well. She's been a part of this Wales team for the last couple of years. She made her tournament debut at the Euros. She plays for Man United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like, on the pitch, as without the issue and the diagnosis, she's been a fantastic role model. You add in the fact that she's been incredibly brave in an area where I think there's still a lot of education to be done around being on the autism spectrum and things like that. The work that she does to highlight even the tiny things like the stresses and strains of just going about your regular job while having this condition is so difficult, you know? So, she's pretty outstanding. So fair play, Safi, for that. Moving on to our media champion. Now, again, with role model, this is someone who, within the world of sport, whether a broadcaster or a sports person, is flying the flag for women's sport and showing us perhaps some behind-the-scenes action or some important subjects that need to be discussed. So who's first on our media champion list?
So we've got Beth Fisher, who is obviously a freelance journalist, presenter, and former international athlete. Have you met Beth before?
Yes, yeah. We've been in contact a few times. Beth works, at least used to work for ITV. Beth's brilliant. Like, she's, if you want anyone who knows anything about women's sport in Wales, she's the one. And fair play to Beth. She's very vocal. She's always backing the girls and backing women's sport. Often, in the face of some online trolling, which is still very prevalent in the game. And even just recently around the whole WRU regional uncertainty and everything, there's been a lot of backlash towards the women's game off the back of that. And she's sort of led the conversation in terms of supporting the women's teams and supporting women's rugby in general. She's a fantastic broadcaster, and she's also an outspoken patron for Pride Cymru as well. So, but well worthy of her place on the list. Yeah.
Amazing. She sounds absolutely incredible. I hope I get to meet her one day.
Yes, she's great.
And then we've also got the incredible Ffion Morgan, who's the Welsh football international and social media star.
Yeah, Fion's great.
So not only is she a star winger for Wales and West Ham United, but she's also a social media star, as I said. So she's got 400,000 followers across her platforms. Her day in the life videos show the realities of being a female footballer. Have you watched them?
Yeah, I'm across Fion's social media stuff. She's really good. So there'll be she'll show you what it's like the day before a game. Yeah. So I think a lot of people would assume that players train the days that they're not playing. Often that's completely wrong. You have rest days, you have recovery days, you have what they call these days, I think, is match day -1, where they have like walkthroughs and prep and all things like that. And she, particularly in the women's game, which has become sort of rapidly professionalized over the last few years, it's a really interesting insight into Wales camps and travel and all things like that. I'd heartily recommend all her stuff that she did during the Euros. Really, really cool. Even things like traveling to go and see her girlfriend on a day off who plays for Newcastle. She plays West Ham, so she's going all the way up to Newcastle from London just on her day off. Like, it's pretty cool. She's excellent, is Ffion, and it's kind of matched with her performances on the pitch because she's become a really integral part of the Wales squad as well over the last couple of years. She's well worthy of her place.
Definitely. And I mean, all these women are just absolutely incredible. As we're saying these stories, I think it shows that they're fighting through so many barriers as well, breaking down those barriers in order to be a voice for girls and women everywhere. And then we've got Gwen Crabb, who's the Wales Rugby International, and she's been using her platform to speak openly about endometriosis, which I think, especially at the moment, endometriosis has such a stigma attached to it. And more women are kind of understanding the diagnosis, being diagnosed, and also people are understanding the severity of it and how hard it is living with endometriosis. So I think it's really exceptional that she's using this. She used, at 26, she had 4 knee injuries.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. I think one of the most gut-wrenching ones was, I can't remember if it was last year or 2024, but she, literally like 2 games after coming back, she re-injured the same knee. And like the mental strength that it takes to come back, and she's now played a few months on the bounce without injury, and like she's a really talented rugby player first and foremost, but her honesty as well with the, sort of the mental struggles around coming back from injuries, dealing with her endometriosis, like she's pretty outstanding, and she pairs that honesty and that that reflection of there are dark times in people's lives with some really, really sort of fun content as well. So she plays for Brython Thunder in the Celtic Challenge, and I would heartily recommend checking out her teammates' questions videos. Even like the tiniest thing of just asking where people do their big shop has been really funny. The difference between the internationals that shop at Tesco's and the students who are still on part-time contracts who shop at Aldi and Lidl is pretty eye-opening, but very funny at the same time.
Is anyone shopping at Waitrose?
I think there was 1 or 2 shopping at Waitrose. Gone real posh.
Very nice.
Yeah, I know.
Very nice.
Decent bit of money in rugby, I guess.
It's all about rugby, isn't it? And then we've got a very exciting category because we've got Team of the Year.
Yeah. So a nice range of finalists for this one as well. So perhaps we'll get the most, probably the obvious one out of the way first of all. So the Wales women's football team.
Let's do it. I mean, we've got a lot to cover when it comes to Team of the Year. So we've got, when it comes to Wales women football, we've got them inspiring 20,000 girls, which is just absolutely incredible. So it was kind of the culmination year for everything whenever it came to 2025 for Welsh women's football. They qualified for their first ever major tournament, which was the 2025 European Championship in Switzerland. And I think as well, they have just been inspiring the whole nation.
Yeah, I was there in Switzerland. Really, really cool week. I was able to see the first game against the Netherlands and the second against France, and just the atmosphere was really, really cool. They managed to build something that's lasting. You know, that legacy piece of qualifying for tournaments doesn't. It takes 10 years, and you hope that the legacy lasts 10 years to qualify. And you know, like you mentioned, there are now 20,000 women and girls playing football in Wales that the FAW announced just after the tournament. I'm sure that's higher now because it's growing all the time. They're a pretty outstanding candidate in this category. Perhaps the one that I'm most excited to talk about is the Wales under-21s women's hockey. Now, almost the complete other side of this is the Wales under-21s women's hockey team, because they whereas women's football is on the rise and is a professional now, hockey in particular, junior hockey is still very much sort of semi-pro amateur level. And despite qualifying for the under-21 Women's Junior World Cup, the Wales team were not guaranteed a place at the tournament because they needed to raise the funds, because the tournament's in Chile, which is halfway around the world. So you got to do your travel, hotel, facilities, all of this kind of stuff. So they launched a massive fundraising campaign to raise the funds for, like I said, the travel and accommodation. They raised over £32,000, which meant they were able to make the tournament in December, which is very cool. Now, I was assured on the judging day that the cost for that tournament would have been in excess of £32,000. So that meant that despite all the lovely donations, they would have still had to pay for their place at the tournament, which, when you consider that, you know, we talk about role models and we talk about inspiring, you know, these women who are still at the very start of their career, you know, they're still playing junior hockey, are that committed to their sport and that committed to Wales that they're probably paying a fair whack to go and experience the Junior World Cup. And what an experience it was, you know.
Incredible.
Yeah, take away, Anna. How do they do?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. So they were put into a very difficult group with the eventual runners-up Argentina and third place Belgium. But they held their own. They beat Zimbabwe to qualify for 9th to 16th place classification. They eventually finished 14th place, which is overperforming their pre-tournament world ranking of 20th.
That's pretty outstanding, right?
Absolutely
when you consider,
incredible.
Most teams want to be preparing for a tournament by loss of training, loss of rest, loss of recovery. These outstanding hockey players were raising money and trying to get every last pound and penny out of the good people, and who were trying to support them. So yeah, outstanding achievement from the hockey. And moving on to our last finalist, we have Glamorgan women. Now, 2025 was a pretty breakout year for Glamorgan women. It's the first time they became a fully professional outfit. So to put my cricket hat on for a second, the women's cricket structure was given a shake-up a couple of years ago, and Glamorgan were part of the restructuring that brought in proper professional systems for the women's game beyond the sort of the slightly smaller structure that was in place before. And Glamorgan have absolutely flown as a professional outfit. Amy Rees at Glamorgan, who's been their head of women's girls cricket for years and years, has been phenomenal. And coach Rachel Priest, who's an absolute legend of New Zealand cricket, has been amazing too. And results on the field have been pretty outstanding, haven't they, Anna?
They've been absolutely incredible. So Glamorgan reached the final of the Women's One Day Cup League 2 following a dominant group stage performance of 7 wins and only 1 defeat.
They were pretty outstanding.
It's incredible. They were eventually defeated by Yorkshire, the county that would prove to be their nemesis.
Yeah, I reported a lot on Glamorgan women last summer, and every time they played Yorkshire, I had my head in my hands. They were close in that One Day Cup final, really close. And then in the T20s, what happened? They got to the semi-finals. They played Glamorgan. They played Yorkshire, and they got pretty soundly beaten in that game. But it doesn't take away from what is an excellent first year.
Not at all. It's incredible.
As a professional outfit.
And the fact, again, that this is their first year being a professional outfit as well. I mean, it's showing how much women in sport are rising, and hopefully women's teams are rising as well. The fact that we're getting more and more professional entities is incredible.
Sinclair Group has been part of the motor industry for over 80 years. That's not just a number, it's generations of trust built on shared values, because family isn't just who you're born to, it's who you choose to stand with, and that's what matters to us. We offer new and approved used vehicle sales and service for some of the world's biggest motor brands, and trust, that's at the heart of it all. So whether you're starting your journey or continuing a legacy, visit sinclairgroup.co.uk. Belong for good.
Yeah, and our next category on the awards is our grassroots champion, someone who works behind the scenes, often at the recreational level, to bring people the sport that they love. And we've got 3 pretty outstanding candidates here. I'll take you through the first one, Julie Claydon of My Rounders. Now, My Rounders is, if you're in Welsh recreational sport, My Rounders is a bit of a force these days. More than 8,500 registered players over the last 3 years playing a bit of rounders. I think all of us played rounders in PE at school level, and probably didn't think that you could play it as an adult. It feels like a bit of a game that you play when you're a teenager and then give up. But Julie has done outstanding work. It was a COVID a baby, I think it was, locked up in her house. She wanted something to do. So as soon as the restrictions were lifted, she was like, right, I'm going to start a Rounders League. And I think a remarkable story from that was, she posted on Facebook to a few of her friends, asked them to share it. And she turns up on the first weekend, not knowing if 4 people are going to turn up, not knowing if one person's going to turn up. She had 1 bat and 1 ball, 153 people showed up.
That's crazy.
I know. Wow. It's remarkable. And in 3 years, or 4 years now, she's grown it to more than 8,500 people playing in loads of different leagues, mixed, girls, boys, men's, women's, like all sorts. And yeah, it's a pretty outstanding story of grassroots sport.
That's so heartwarming. And I
Yeah.
think it shows as well that it's really important you carry on doing fun things when you're an adult that you did
Yeah.
when you were a kid.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I think a lot of people see doing exercise, whether it's going to the gym or playing recreational sport, as like their release. And
Yeah.
it's important to like make sure that it's fun and it's like it is that release, and like
Yeah.
Right Rounders has shown that definitely. Another one who's inspired people to get playing is Lydia Clements at Radda Cricket Club.
Yes, she is an inspiration. So she balanced becoming a solicitor with driving the establishment of thriving women and girls section within RADA. Just incredible. I mean, the fact she's trying to juggle both and not just trying but succeeding is absolutely
I've been a
amazing.
part of a few cricket clubs, and I know how difficult it is to get things going at these sort of, you know, what can be quite established and old-fashioned institutions now. And Lydia's done amazing work. You know, she used to play for Wales and Glamorgan, and has now taken her expertise at that level into the grassroots. So,
It's amazing. Yeah. So she captains the women's side and sits on the whole club board, and she is championing women's cricket across Wales. So she's also currently volunteering for the MCC as Wales officer to encourage more women to play for the MCC.
That's pretty cool. MCC, Marylebone Cricket Club. You don't know, they're based at Lords, so yeah, probably the most prestigious cricket club in the world. So that's a pretty cool thing to do. Our last finalist in the grassroots champion category is Nick Evans of King's Cross Steelers. Now King's Cross actually isn't in Wales, but Nick is a Welshwoman herself, and what she's done at King's Cross is pretty remarkable, isn't it, Anna?
It is absolutely incredible. So she's a lover of rugby and a fierce competitor. So she represented Wales when the game was amateur and managed to balance a full-time job alongside her passion. I think that's kind of a running theme as we go through a lot of these, is women having to juggle a lot on their plate in order to just be able to play the sport they love.
Absolutely.
So since retiring, she knew that she wasn't done with rugby and still had a lot more to offer. So she actually became the name director of rugby at the King Cross Steelers, the world's first LGBTQ plus rugby club. But despite her pedigree in the game, she still battled misogynistic and outdated views of women coaching in rugby, which I think, again, is just why she's such a trailblazer, because she didn't let that shut her down, the same as we've seen with a lot of the other women throughout all the categories, really, who have faced misogyny, faced anything at all. They're still using that fuel and kind of breaking through the barriers even more with that fuel. I think it just makes them go, okay, I'm just going to break even more. And also represent girls in the process. So during her time at the club, she grew it to 4 teams, both the seconds and thirds competing in the Essex Merit Leagues and the 4th team competing in the IGR Leagues. So it's just absolutely incredible. The club took 6 teams, over 150 players to the 2018 Bingham Cup.
That's pretty outstanding.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that rounds out our grassroots champion. See, I was already thinking about our final category.
You were ready for it? The volunteers.
Volunteers of the year. Now, these are outstanding volunteers who work unpaid in their jobs to bring, whether it's grassroots sport or the very highest level of sport, to the people of Wales. And we've got some outstanding candidates now. Bev Tucker is our first finalist. She played a pivotal role in making sure there was a variety of sports opportunities out there for disabled people in mid Wales. In 2002, she was a founding member of Brecon Integrated Sports Association and has been volunteering as a community coach for the past 8 years. Her efforts in disability sport have taken her to volunteering on the international stage with Team GB at the Special Olympics, supporting athletes with learning difficulties in particular. And she is also founder of the Brecon Integrated Sports Club, and is also Disability Sports Wales Development Officer for Paris, which is a mouthful. But she is a pretty outstanding volunteer and has been a massive part of para sport in Wales over the last 2 decades and more, and is well worthy of her place on the list. Who's next, Anna?
That is incredible. So we've got Lynn Pammont next, she's exceptional as well. I mean, all these volunteers giving up their time for such a worthy cause. It's just brilliant. So she's got a lot of professional excellence and integrity within Welsh sport in general, and she inspires everyone who works with her. She's an independent chair of the Welsh Sports Association, representing over 150 organisations across the sport and leisure sector.
Crazy.
And she has led the board with both clarity and purpose, guiding the executive team through the delivery of its recent plan. Under her leadership, the organisation has grown in size, service delivery and revenue. So it's just strengthening its impact really across Wales. And within the WSA, she's a genuine role model for both staff and board members. She's understanding, offering constructive challenge and a steadfast support to everyone there. And I think this kind of spirit is exactly the spirit we love and want in Welsh sport.
Absolutely. And our final, last but not least, is Angie Prangle, our final finalist for the Volunteer of the Year Awards. She's a volunteer at Cross Keys RFC and has been there for more than 2 decades. Her nomination describes her as the heartbeat of Cross Keys RFC, and her contribution extends far beyond the sort of traditional volunteering that you'd expect from your regular weekend warriors, as it were. She's a driving force that holds the club together through triumphs, challenges and profound change. She was a youth manager, first of all, and has seen her become club secretary in recent years. And it says she's shaped the culture through warmth, positivity and an unshakable commitment to inclusivity. She's pretty outstanding and has taken Cross Keys through some really tough recent situations, right? With the flooding in recent years.
Flooding, wasn't there? So catastrophic floods of 2020 and 2024. I'm sure a lot of people remember that time. And she mobilised volunteers, coordinated recovery efforts, and represented the club in all of those resilience meetings. Anything like that hitting a club. I mean, we saw it recently with which rugby club was it that got burnt down in
Penarth
Rugby Club. Things like that really scare you because they can make or break. I mean, all those kids who are going to that sport club, it's the chance for them to play. So whenever anything like that hits a club, it really, really impacts it. But she rallied everyone together and used her resilience to reassure other people as well, because a lot of parents, a lot of kids, a lot of players as well at the club will have been really scared during those floods. And she used her resilience and determination to make sure that they would get through that period.
Yeah. Well, I keep saying it, but well worthy of a spot in our finalist list. And so that is the extent of our Womenin Awards this year. Like I said, please check out the Business In website for all the rest of the awards. We have plenty of exciting nominees there as well. Businesswoman of the Year, Rising Leader, Female Founder, all sorts of exciting things going on there as well. I will reiterate the tickets are on sale now, but they are going fast. So please get in touch with our head of sales, Mark George at businessin.wales to secure your place. And thank you very much, Anna, for having.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I feel very inspired now.
Yeah, it's been a really nice chat. Talked about some pretty remarkable women there. So yeah.
You really did.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much to Sinclair, as always, for sponsoring the podcast. And we'll see you again very, very soon.
Sportin Wales podcast, powered by Sinclair Group, your go-to for Welsh sports news and views.